Welcome to Distress to Joyful, Bailey's Way. I'm your host, Bailey Reber, here to enlighten you and the rest of the world about one of the most misunderstood mental disorders out there, bipolar disorder. Each week, we're going to learn more about my personal journey with the disorder while leaving you enriched with new information on how you can help better yourself as well as those around you. Hello, friends! Welcome to this week's new episode. What the hell is going on? Yep, that is the title of today's episode. And before we move into that, because I'm sure you have a million questions as to why the title is there and what the topic actually is for today, I just wanted to stop and say that I was checking out the stats online for the listeners for the show. And holy moly, we have listeners on every single continent, y'all. Seriously, we got people listening in North America, South America, Africa, Europe, Asia, even over on Oceania, which, for those of you who don't know, is the actual title of the continent that holds Australia and all of the surrounding islands, like New Zealand and all of that. So that is a fun fact. Go ahead and add that to your list of fun facts that you now know that you can whip out whenever needed and win some bingo, or not bingo, it's trivia. Oh my God, did I really just say bingo? Oh, that's embarrassing, and I'm also not editing it out because that's actually really funny. But yeah, so add that to your fun fact list for trivia night. You are welcome. Anyways, thank you for sharing this podcast with your friends and your family members and for leaving me such amazing, thoughtful reviews. Oh, and I appreciate, guys, I read all of those reviews that y'all leave, and I've been getting some really thoughtful ones lately, and I appreciate it so much. So much. And I think that's contributing to helping spread the word across the globe. Yes, oh gosh, it's exciting. So I appreciate you for listening and for sharing and for being here. You are awesome. Thank you. Yes. And wow, okay, so last week's episode was about routines and how important they are for our healthy mental and physical states, right? Well, I don't know how the hell I created an entire episode on routines without mentioning the 60 Days Stronger Challenge that I created, and that starts again for round number 2 on January 1st. Like, oh my God, how did I miss that? How? Oh gosh. Okay, so earlier this summer, back in I think it was June or July, I was talking with my friend Lauren, and she was telling me about this challenge she was doing called 75 Hard. And oh my God, 75 Hard was too fucking hard. Oh man, the intensity of that challenge, it was ridiculous. Like, Lauren LP, first of all, you are an incredible and amazing woman, and the fact that you completed that challenge, holy shit, I have so much respect for you. I really, really do. But for me personally, it was too damn much. These were the tasks that you had to do every single day for 75 Hard. You had to drink a gallon of water or more a day. You have to read 10 pages of a self-help book. You have to stay on a healthy diet or meal plan of some sort. You have to work out twice a day. And one of those 2 times has to be outside. And then the last daily task is to take a photo of yourself every single day. And you do this for 75 full days. 75 whole days of that, y'all. It was the 2-a-days. Those 2-a-days, I sometimes do 2 workouts in a day. Yeah, I am that crazy. And I've actually been doing that a lot recently. But I don't think I could do 2 1-hour workouts a day for 75 days straight. That is insane. And, those of you who did it, oh my God, I have so much respect for you because you are mentally tough as shit if you can do that. Yeah, you are. Oh my God. But when she was telling me about that, I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Like, I like the idea of a challenge in order to keep me structured and, on a path. And I am the type who I love a challenge, man. You give me a challenge and I'm going to try to beat it. That's just who I am. So I thought, okay, 75 hard, that's a little too hard. Why don't I come up with something else that would work? And I came up with 60 Days Stronger, which it's kind of similar in the concept, except it's 60 full days. And the 5 objectives are you stay on a healthy meal plan. And that can be anything, from if you want to do keto, really it's whatever you want to do, just as long as you're staying consistently with a healthy meal plan of your choice. You read 10 pages in a self-help book, or you spend 15 minutes journaling every day. So you could do one or the other or both if you're an overachiever. The third one is to drink at least half of your body weight in ounces of water per day. So to make it easy, if you weigh 200 pounds, then you drink 100 pounds. Then you drink 100 pounds of water a day. No, you drink 100 ounces of water a day. The fourth thing is exercise. So exercise at least 1 hour every single day. And that can be broken up. So you could do 30 minutes in the morning and 30 minutes in the evening. However you choose, just a full hour a day. And then the last thing is gratitude. So I've talked a lot about gratitude recently, especially with Thanksgiving. That was, 2 weeks ago, right? You have seen a blog post I've written about daily gratitude. And really, guys, it is important to be thankful every single day and for the small things. And so the point of this challenge, the 60 Days Stronger, is to become physically and mentally stronger and challenging yourself to create these new habits. Because it takes 30 days to make a habit stick. So I'm like, okay, well, 30 days, that's not enough time. Let's do 60 because then it's really going to stick, right? Yeah. So again, I don't know how I completely overlooked this last week for the episode because, wow, if you want to join, because I know you do, yes, please. There is a link in my bio on my Instagram. Click the link, and then there's going to be some options, and click 60 Days Stronger and get yourself signed up. It's going to send you an email that has all of everything I just told you, all of the objectives and kind of the structure of it. And also, it's going to have a calendar tracker where you can keep track of everything you've done daily. It's going to start January 1st, and we have a group of people doing it. We've got a whole Facebook group for it and everything. So get signed up and join in on the party. And I'm excited. I know that there are a couple of women who have really seen some drastic change in results from this. And I really hope to help more people with this challenge. And it's fun. And it's just been a lot of fun getting to be in a group with other people all working on the same things and all encouraging each other along the way. So please, if you're interested, join us. It's all virtual. And we do this virtual social hour at the end that we call Reflect and Connect. So then you can meet everybody virtually over a Zoom call after it's done. It's really fun. So please join me and the rest of us. We would love to have you. Yes, we would. Also, I am going to put a link for it in the show notes. So if it's easier, just click on the episode details from whatever platform you're listening on right now. You're going to see my website. Click it. Episode 21 show notes, and there will be a link for you to sign up as well. Cool. Okay, let's move on. So recently I've been talking about the good and the happier things about bipolar disorder. Like mania and the creativity and the things that are unique about those of us with the disorder that are positive. But as we all know, there is a darker side to bipolar disorder, and I can't not talk about it for long. So recently, I had an episode of some sort, and I'm not even sure what to call it, but it lasted an entire day. So I woke up angry, and I don't know why. I walked over to the grocery store that's next door, and I was just mad about everything in the store that morning. There were too many people in my way. The store associates had carts and shit in the middle of the aisles that were in my way. They were out of something that I wanted. And the cashiers were both assholes. And, I doubt that any of those things were actual issues in that moment. Well, except for being out of what I wanted. I mean, yeah, that's a problem regardless of my mood. But that's how I felt that morning. I just felt like everything just sucked and everybody was annoying and everybody was an asshole. And then I got home from the grocery store, and Monish and his friend who were in town, they were both awake finally. They were asleep when I left. I'm an early bird. I wake up at the ass crack of dawn. So when I walked into the apartment, they were awake and they were being loud, which pissed me off for some reason. I don't know why, because I'm loud as hell. So if I'm going to be super, super loud, then I cannot get mad at other people for being loud. That's a double standard. Now, come on, Bailey. You can't be doing that. But that's what I did that morning. I don't know why. And the three of us had made plans previously to get takeout food from a specific restaurant for lunch. And then all of a sudden they were changed, and I had nothing to do with this change. And so when this did change suddenly is when all hell broke loose. Actually, the floodgates of hell opened up, and what anger was already inside of me decided to overflow and destroy literally everything in its path from here on out. Yeah, take a moment and just picture a dam, like a dam where there's water behind it and it's a river. But instead of water being behind the dam, there's fire. And in front of the dam is my sweet, sweet Monish and his friend and all of the really nice associates at HEB and anyone else. They're all just standing in front of this dam and they're looking at it. And the dam breaks and the fire just rolls through. Yeah, that's kind of what happened. And it was awful. Oh my God, it was awful. And for the duration of the day, I was just so angry like that. Just anger flowing through. And I could not get unangry no matter how hard I tried. And I don't know if unangry is an actual term, but I'm using it so you grammar Nazis can get over it. Thank you. But in all seriousness, this situation was awful. It was god awful. I mean, no one likes being around angry people. And I don't know about you, but I sure as hell don't like feeling angry. So an entire day of it was a literal nightmare. It was a nightmare. And by evening time, Monish was so sick of it that he came to me to try to figure out what the problem was. Side note, he is a little problem solver. He's always looking to solve any problems that come his way, my way, our way. And it's one thing that I really, really love about him. I do. So when he came to me to try to figure out, the root of the problem so we could solve it, I told him, I don't know. I don't know why I feel this way. And I just want it to stop. I want it to go away. I hate this. And then I sobbed and I sobbed and I sobbed so hard because I didn't know how to make these feelings go away. But all I wanted was for them to disappear. Guys, in that moment, I felt so alone and afraid. I felt like I was not lovable. I felt like nobody could help me, not even myself. I felt hurt by my own actions because I knew that my actions were hurting somebody that I loved. So I felt betrayed by myself. And I just felt so many emotions all at once at this time that it's really hard for me to even try to describe this to you. But what I wanted more than anything was to just run away and disappear so that maybe all of the emotions that I was feeling right then and there would disappear too. Eventually, all of this settled down as it always does because the storms don't last forever, thankfully. And I laid down in bed and I began to think about what happened that day. And more specifically about all of those emotions that I was feeling. And I started to kind of self-analyze. And to be honest, guys, I've never really done that before. I was diagnosed, 10 years ago at the age of 16. And in the last 10 years of having bipolar disorder, being aware of my bipolar disorder, I've never really been self-aware enough to kind of dissect when things like this do occur. And I've been working very hard with my therapist over the last year and a half, but more specifically in 2020 because I've had a lot of free time. I mean, who hasn't? But I've taken a lot more time to kind of analyze why I feel a certain way or why I think I feel a certain way. And more importantly, I've really worked on trying to understand my triggers and what causes certain parts of the cycles of bipolar disorder to kick into high gear and what makes things worse and what doesn't. And I think I discussed in a previous episode, I think it was the episode about depression. I can't remember exactly what number that is, but you can scroll through and find it if you haven't already listened to it. But in that episode, I believe I mentioned that I have figured out what causes depression most of the time. Not always, but I did find a pattern of some things that cause depression for me. And one of the big things is disappointment. And more so, not just when I disappoint others, but more specifically when I disappoint myself. And so this time when I was laying on my bed, I was trying to figure out what the hell could have brought on all of this anger. Like, what could have done this? The only conclusion I could come up with would be that I was having a bit of a hypomanic stage. And this would be more of the irritable side. I mean, hypomania, I've mentioned, there's two forms of it. There's the one where you're just happy-go-lucky and everything's great and you're so productive and just doing all the things. But the flip side of it is that sometimes when your brain is moving at a super fast speed during hypomania like it does, you become extremely irritable very easily. And irritability is the cousin of anger. And honestly, that's the only thing I could come up with. I mean, I was thinking back to a couple days before this incident occurred, and I was feeling more of the good side of hypomania. And then I think it slipped into irritability somehow. And by way it slipped into that, I have no clue. I should probably be journaling every single day. Man, I'm calling myself out on this podcast. Wow. I mean, I really should. My therapist has been telling me for years that I should journal every single day. And, sitting here talking to you guys, I think I'm going to do it. I think I'm really going to start doing that, is just write down how I've been feeling every single day. I've toyed with the idea and it's been rough. And you know what? I can add that to my routine. Yes. Last week's episode. Adding it in. But also, guys, on a more serious note, another thing that I came to realize when I was analyzing this whole entire situation was that I don't have anyone to talk to when things like this happen. And what I mean specifically is that I don't have any close friends or even acquaintances that I know of who have bipolar 2 disorder who I could possibly discuss things like this with. Someone who would be on the same level of understanding as me. Because, guys, I could tell you all day long what it's like to live with bipolar 2 disorder, and I could explain it to you time and time again. But until you walk in my shoes and actually live with it like I do, you're never going to fully understand and fully grasp my perspective. I mean, you can get a good idea of my perspective, and please keep listening, because you listening helps to understand the other person's perspective. You'll understand it, but you'll never actually know what it feels like. Those are two different things. And sometimes when you go through something really, really difficult, it helps to have someone there next to you who, when you relay what you were feeling like in that moment, for them to say, I understand completely. I have felt that way before myself. This is what I did to help me. Maybe try this. Or shit, man, not even that last bit. Like, honestly, I don't even need advice sometimes or tips, but I just need someone to look at me and say, yes, I know exactly how that feels. Because right now I don't. Right now I don't have anybody like that. And this is where I'm going to ask for your help. If you or someone you know has been diagnosed with bipolar 2 disorder, can you do me a favor and please reach out to me? You can message me on Instagram. Just search for distressed to joyful _Bailey's Way. And just introduce yourself after hearing this episode. Because, y'all, I might have been able to figure out how to successfully manage this disorder and be able to live a full and happy, healthy life. But that does not mean that the hypomanic and depressive episodes are gone for good. These things will pop up at random, like they always have. Thankfully, they occur a lot less than they used to. And also, the episodes are a lot shorter than they used to be. But they do come around. And when they do, I often feel really, really lonely. Because no one I know understands what I'm actually going through from my point of view and can empathize with me because they've been there too. And that sucks. Straight up, that sucks. So, while I hope that those of you listening have felt a lot less alone due to my openness and my vulnerability on this podcast, I would really love it if you or someone that you know could reach out to me and help me feel less alone too. And yes, a reminder that the goal of this podcast is to help others struggling with bipolar disorder to feel less alone. But guys, I need that too. I need that too. So please reach out. I would love to hear from you. Okay, next week's episode. It is December. Yes, it is the month of December, in case you were unaware, which means that the holidays are upon us, officially full in swing. And they're going to look a lot different this year than they have before. But that doesn't mean that there won't be people out there who are still dreading all of the shit that comes along with the holidays. Be sure to tune in next week for episode 22. Oh shit, it's the holidays, where I discuss what I'm pretty sure that no one else is willing to discuss about the holiday season, especially not on a public platform. These are things that I know so many people have expressed and have been thinking, and they express so quietly to others, and they think these things quietly to themselves. But I'm about to open it up and be real and speak about them to you. So don't miss it. Thank you for listening to the show. I'm really looking forward to those of you who are willing to reach out to me and connect. I would really love to get to know you and hear from you and connect with you on a level that not everybody can connect on. Also, if you enjoyed this episode, do me a favor and take a screenshot of it and post it on your Instagram story and just tag me on it. Help spread the word about how you've been enjoying this podcast so that other people can hop on this little bandwagon and enjoy it too. Because the more the merrier, right? Yes. And also, if you listen on iTunes, if you could do me a favor and show me some love by leaving me a review. I have been getting reviews from you guys recently, and if we could keep up that trend and this trend of people giving reviews regularly, on a regular basis, that would be amazing. Because guys, I read these reviews and every single one of them so far has just lit my heart up. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Alrighty, well, until next time, take it easy, stay grateful, and be joyful. Bye!